Hello there, my name is Victor Ogunyika, and you're welcome to the midweek edition of Today in the News, and of course, all of those newspapers across the Federation, and looking at the major headlines everywhere.
Over 1,000 people are benefiting from free medical services provided by the FCT chapter.
Someone Arsenal fans very interested in this news. Arsenal smash club transfer record signed Pep.
Hello and good morning. Of course, it is Today in the News on Vanguard Live. My name is Precious Chukudi, and it's good to be back. After a long protest week and still going into the protest week. And I'll be starting off with the front pages of the paper, starting off with Vanguard. Mid headline says hashtag NSAS stop army's planned Operation Crocodile Smile, and the writer says CSOs tells the federal government says military should remain in barracks till protests end. Key protesters face international criminal court as CAV cautions Buratai. Says it's ill-timed, could exacerbate citizens' distrust, lack of confidence in state institutions. Crocodile Smile not going after hashtag enters protesters, says Army. Defense Minister warns the protesters against undermining national security. Thugs attacked us, not protesters. Oyetola. SARS disbandment won't stop police brutality. Catholic Bishop says, and Buhari National Assembly leadership brainstorm on quick recovery. And on page 7, Christian elders threaten to sue federal government over alleged ethnic cleansing. On page 10, governors committed to wholesale, not just police reform. Page 7 still, Salami trying to indict our client at all costs. Magu's lawyer cries out. Also, we have mixed performance through national housing delivery as NHF grows 18%, non-compliance lingers, more retirees withdraw. On page 14, NECO reschedules examination. Page 7, the Supreme Court to hear CBN Union Bank case against Petro Union tomorrow. On page 8, Rep Gazette Water Resources Bill for reintroduction. And lastly, on the front page of Vanguard newspaper, we have $1.5 billion plant. Nigeria will soon stop importing steel, finance minister says. And away from Vanguard, move straight to the Punch newspaper. And on the Punch newspaper, we have main headline, hashtag NSAS / crocodile smile. Military operation will backfire. Protesters, others warn Buhari. Soldiers will join protests. We won't stop. Campaigners dare federal government. We won't allow descent into anarchy, federal government tells protesters. Also, there's a photo story of protesters, a cross section of protesters showing at different areas of the country. And on page 27, NRC begins worry Taipei rail line passenger service. Also on page 10, police begin training of 1,850 SWAT personnel today. On page 36, NLC writes Buhari rejects airport's concession. And away from the Punch newspaper, we move straight to The Nation. And on The Nation newspaper, we have main headlines. Protesters halt activities in Lagos, Abuja, Ibadan. Buhari meets Lawan Gbajabiamila, Governor, Senate President. Let's end protest. Blockade in Agodi, Ibadan. Protesters attacked in Ilorin. Benin under total lockdown. Hashtag NSAS leader Shega links withdraw. Also stories above, we have firm records of 57 COVID-19 cases in Ibadan. Government, no cause for fear. Investors stake 51.9 billion naira on 3 top-tier banks. You can see that on page 17. And on page 36, Minister, Nigeria targets end to steel imports by 2025. Also, Petrol Union 556 billion euro case for Supreme Court hearing today. And that's all we can take on the front pages of the papers. We're moving straight to the newspaper analysis segment, where we'll be joined in by our guest who is here in the studio. We're going on a short break. When we come back, we'll move straight to the newspaper analysis segment. We'll be right back.
Nothing like that. No, bro, listen.
Why they vlog like that now? Why they vlog like that? Why they vlog like what do you do, Kwan?
So we are out here today because we want to end SARS. Government to do something. When Okada people they said they were heavy robbery, they banned them from moving. But now we are saying we want an end to SARS because they are brutalizing and harassing us. And yet they are telling us that they can't end it. We want to end SARS today. This is why we are here, and we are sleeping here. We are not moving away. So they end it. So this is what we say.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, it's still today in the news of Vanguard Life. My name is Precious Chukudi, and you're welcome to the newspaper analysis segment. I'm joined in on the show by my guest in studio. He's in the person of Mr. Ali Mohammed, CEO of Magnet Communications, also former editor of Daily Times and Concord newspaper. Good morning, sir. It's good to have you.
Good morning, Precious. How are you?
I'm fine, but we've been going through the whole protest issues for over a week now, and we're seeing on the front page Operation Crocodile Smile, and everybody's wondering, are we going to be smiling this week?
I hope we will be smiling. I hope so.
All right, so like with the whole protest going on since so far, the protesters are asking that the disbandment of SARS, of which some of them still say that this thing has not been disbanded, because when you go on social media, there are still people who are bringing out videos and saying that this is the SARS that they say they disbanded, and these people are still attacking people and whatsoever. Do you think that the dissolution of these people would put an end really to police brutality in the country?
Let me correct one thing you just said here, that SARS has not been fully disbanded. We must learn to believe our leaders. The IG came on air, the president came on air to announce the disbandment of SARS. So to that extent, as far as I am concerned, as far as SARS is concerned, it is disbanded.
But there are people who are bringing out videos online that
Those
saying
are
that-
old videos. They are old videos of what SARS officers have done, past things that they have done.
For example, yesterday there was a video that was online of a guy who was in his car, and a policeman was pointing a Tavor gun or something like that to him, and people were like, when did this happen? And the guy said he was
They are all, I have seen a lot of videos surfacing online. Most of them are old videos trying to chronicle the evil activities of SARS officers. You see, the truth of the matter is that what these boys, our youths, have done is commendable. I commend them. I salute their resoluteness. I salute their courage. I commend what they are doing 100%. But I believe that there should be a limit to all these demonstrations. To the extent that you have admitted that there is a government in place and you have submitted a list of requests, why wouldn't you allow that government to look into your requests? As at today, I have observed these demonstrations since last week. It is becoming violent. We've had situations where governors were attacked. I saw the governor of Lagos State on air yesterday live trying to pacify these boys, and they were bullying him. They were shouting at him. That is wrong. It is disrespectful. For as long as they have recognized that there is a government in place, you must allow government to look into your demands. By saying that you are not going to stop, then you are not going to allow the government to meet your demands. As at today, this is my opinion, we have three groups of people demonstrating. The genuine demonstrators, those who are using the demonstration to solve their problem of hunger, going to the demonstration venues to eat every morning, take beer in the afternoon, eat pepper soup at night. Then we have miscreants now joining them. Yesterday morning, somebody was coming from Ujudu and he ran to a blockade by the old toll gate in Lagos. They refused to allow him to go. Some of those boys went to him and collected money and opened the way. That is not in the spirit of true demonstration. And when you look at the history of war all over the world, you don't resolve a war at the battlefront. You have to go to the conference table to negotiate. Even if a party is going to surrender, that surrender will take place on the negotiation table, not at the battlefield. So these boys, like I said, I agree with everything. There is need for total reform of all sectors of the Nigerian country. The political sector, the police, the military need total reorientation, total overhauling, and then we can get the needed things that we want from these systems. But as at today, they have been demonstrating for 2 weeks, and you are not even allowing government to tell you what they are doing. You want the president to come on air, he has done that. You want him to do a national broadcast, I hope he will do it. Even me as a parent, if I have children who are not satisfied with what I am doing and you are protesting, I am saying, come, let us talk, and you refuse, I will have to use the big stick. And I'm sure that is why the government is seriously thinking of asking the soldiers to come out. Again, asking the soldiers to come out will have its own effects.
Okay, you just mentioned soldiers coming out, but they are saying that this is something they do every year, to check against criminal activities, and it is in no way targeted towards the protesters. Now, because now it's happening today, and some persons are saying that this would crush the civil protests with the protesters. What do you think about it?
it cannot be a coincidence that the soldiers are going to do whatever operation they want to do. Cannot be a coincidence, and there is no how soldiers will be doing it and they will confront, they will run into demonstrators and they won't react. The soldiers will definitely react. That statement is a political statement. So look, we can only appeal to these boys to suspend the demonstration. I'm not saying stop it. Suspend it and dialogue with government. Because in the next few days, when people can no longer go to work, what they are going to see is a major resentment. We've seen it before during June 12 demonstrations. People were in their homes for about 3 weeks. After the third week, when they couldn't go out, people started coming out, trooping to their places of work. I heard a few announcements on radio today that they are blocking major roads. People will not be able to go to work. That will attract a major resentment. They have done so well by protesting, by sending a list of requests to the government. Now allow the government to deal with these requests. If you are not satisfied, then you can continue. But the situation where you are not even allowing government to look into your requests, I see a descent into anarchy in the next few days.
But then, I was seeing I saw an interview yesterday of some of the people who are let's say, conveners of the protest. Now, what they were asking for is that they want the government to publicly address them. Why? Because they are saying that.
But they are not listening to the governor of Lagos State. Is the governor of Lagos State not a government official?
The governor of Lagos State is not the president of the country.
That's
what they want.
You want the president to come all the way. That is an impossible
demand. They want the president to address them.
To address you in Lagos, he cannot. Look, all these demands. Yes, the president can address the nation. But if you are in Lagos and you are telling the governor of Lagos that you want the president to come and address you in Lagos, then it's not possible. It is not possible. You don't make impossible demands.
This is for everybody. This is for people. There are different protesters everywhere. So this is what they are asking for. They want the president to basically address them.
To that extent, I agree with them that the president should address the nation. But that the governor, they embarrassed that governor yesterday. The man was trying to talk to them. They said, no, go and bring Buhari here. How will Buhari come and stand before you in Lagos? We have 36 states in Nigeria. If Buhari have to address every state, every protesters in every state, that means you want him to drop dead. To the extent of giving a national broadcast, yes, I agree. If that will make them stop all these demonstrations and road blockages, yes, I agree. But that demonstrators in Lagos will be telling the state governor to go and bring Buhari to address them, I disagree with that. The governor is a representative of the president in any part of Nigeria. So if you are not ready to listen to the government, you are not helping the process of meeting your demands. That is it. So let them change their mind on what they are doing, suspend whatever it is you are doing, and go to the round table, meet with state governors. The Lagos State governor has done so well by taking their demand physically to the president. We saw the video, we saw the photographs. He has come back to give you a feedback. You said no, he must bring Buhari to address you. That's an impossible demand as far as I'm concerned. If you truly want the progress of this country, you don't avoid negotiations. You meet with the government, table your agreement formally. If you don't accept the processes that have been adopted so far, send your representatives to Abuja. Let them meet with the president. If you are not satisfied with whatever the government is saying, then you can continue your protest.
Right.
But here, you have not attended any meeting. We don't even know their leaders.
That's the thing. There is no leader.
So how do you now coordinate a meeting with people that don't have leaders?
Okay, now the reason why, according to what you're saying, the reason why they don't have a leader is because they have decided that, when they bring out leaders for things like this, people like this can equally sideline them and then go behind and talk, against them, and not, things that they really want, the government to do for. That's the reason why they are calling that everything that would be done, they want transparency, they want people to see for what it is.
It is not possible for over 3,000 demonstrators to go to the villa to meet with the president. You must trust people. You must have people that you trust that can represent you. At least some people has been giving them money, giving them food. You can appoint those ones as your leaders. Also, it's impossible. Like I said, if you want to achieve anything with this demonstration, you must stop being rigid. You must have leaders that you can trust, that can represent you. If you don't trust your leaders, then you are not ready for a solution. So the truth of the matter is that no government will sit down and allow a situation of total chaos and anarchy to exist in Nigeria or in any part of the world. Even in the US, we've had situations where the National Guard was called out to quell serious revolts. So, if you don't want the soldiers to come out, you must be ready to negotiate with the government. What they are doing is fine. I live in Nigeria. I'm not satisfied with a lot of things. Fine, but you don't resolve it at the battlefront. You don't resolve it at the battlefront. You have to sit with the people you are fighting to negotiate your terms. If you are not satisfied with their terms, then you can continue your demonstrations.
All right, we're going on a short break. When we come back, we'll keep discussing.
Nothing like that. Yo, bro, listen.
The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic continues to disrupt economic activities and triggering a deep digital attitude and change in consumer behavior. In Nigeria, 84.6 million people do not have access to a bank account. In retrospect, 94.5% of the Nigerian population has a mobile phone. The lockdowns, travel restrictions, and social distancing created the need for digital financial inclusion. In view of this, EcoBank Nigeria, in partnership with Vanguard Newspaper, will host the Digital Financial Inclusion Virtual Summit. The summit will convene thought leaders and industry professionals and find ways of advancing digital financial inclusion. This summit will take place virtually via Zoom and will be streamed live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Date: Wednesday, 21st October 2020. Time: 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. West African Time. Register now via the link below. For inquiries, call the numbers on your screen.
Come back, and if you're just joining us, it's still Vanguard. We've been talking about the hashtag #EndSARS with our guest, Mr. Ali Mohammed. And let's look at the fact that the #EndSARS campaign alone, it's not just a campaign on its own. It's from the fact that most people are angry about what's going on in the country. Like when we went out during the protests, one of the things that we heard some people say was that we met a guy in particular who said he's been jobless for a long time coming, and he has not gotten a job so long, and all those things, like it's more like channeled anger towards the fact that the economy is not favoring anybody really. And that's the reason why, because you mentioned that there are different factions of persons who are within the protest, and these are also factions of people too who are engaging in this protest. The fact that they are angry about the lack of food, security situations, all these things. What's your take on that?
See, everybody is angry. Even me, I am angry. I am not too pleased. I am not pleased at all with the situation of things in Nigeria as a country. That is a statement of fact. But you can't achieve anything with continuous demonstration, with blocking the roads and not allowing people to earn. You are worsening the economic situation of the people. These are children that rely on their parents for a lot of things. So if you now say that your parents cannot go to work because you want certain things done in the country, and then how do you want to survive individually after the protests? This is what I am saying. I am not against people protesting. But there should be a limit to how you protest and leave opportunities for negotiation with government.
Okay. Like for example now, in Lagos, when there was Okada ban, basically the governor instructed that he doesn't want to see motorcycles, everywhere was cleared. Now people are asking that, can't they use the same method for, because they are calling out that the police that are in charge of all these accusations on, on victims of people who have been killed, can't they, do the same kind of thing to those policemen too? Because even on social media, there are people who have taken out their time to bring out faces of these police officers that have meted out this kind of heinous activities to the poor masses. So they are like, okay, can we see like an instant like something done to them instantly, not like okay, we're looking at it, we're thinking of how
talking about something being done to them. The 36 state governors met in Abuja, and they agreed that each state should set up an investigative panel to look into the activities of policemen in their states, all the activities, and bring all the culprits to justice. That is the first step. Lagos State government has inaugurated that panel last Friday. If you don't know, I am telling you this. Lagos State government has set up a panel to investigate the brutalities of policemen, not only SARS, the entire police force. And that panel of inquiry will sit for 6 months. And all other 35 states are supposed to do the same thing. As at today, if you move around Lagos, you can't see policemen anywhere moving freely, except the men of RRS that you see trying to maintain peace around Alausa. move around, you can't see policemen. They are also afraid for their lives. And so to say that nothing has been done is an understatement, because if you want the government to probe the past activities of the police, it can't be done in one day. The governors forum has done well by asking all their colleagues to set up a panel of inquiry to look into the activities of police, the SARS and other policemen in the various states of Nigeria. That is one step. Then they have suspended SARS. I want to also condemn the police force for hurriedly setting up SWAT. Why are they rushing to set up SWAT when you have not even resolved the problem of SARS? So that was an action taken in a hurry and in confusion. You don't set up SWAT when you are still talking about SARS. No, it is wrong. That means you want to replace the officers disbanded from SARS with you want to transfer those officers to SWAT. That is the impression that action is giving. I condemn it in all ramifications. I expected the Inspector General of Police to wait until we have an end to this protest before setting up an alternative body to replace SARS that people are clamoring for its ban. And so those are steps that have been taken, but if it appears that the demonstrators, our boys, are not satisfied with this, if they stop all these demonstrations and meet with the government, I think we should be taking a positive step to resolving this problem.
All right, in your own opinion, do you think that the federal government is doing enough with investigations of, perpetrators of these kind of crimes? Like, do you think they're doing enough?
Well, to the extent that they have disbanded SARS and asked state governors to set up inquiries into the past brutalities of policemen in the 36 states of the country, the government has taken a step. They might not have done its best, but I keep appealing that we should allow peace to reign. There is nothing you want to gain when you don't allow people to go to their places of work. You are not gaining anything. Now, if you have emergency situations, people needing emergency medical attention, we may just have some casualties because the roads are blocked. They may not be able to get to the hospitals. So we need to, there are so many things involved here. If you continue to block the roads and people are dying, your parents are dying because they couldn't get medical attention, then you are not better than SARS.
All right, thank you.
That is my opinion.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ali Mohammed, CEO of Magnet Communications, as well as former editor of Daily Times and Concord newspaper. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Remember that you can equally like, share, and subscribe on all our social media platforms showing on your screen, as well as you can have a fantastic day, because today has really been very, very hot with the whole protest thing going on. And remember to stay safe out there, because it's really, really important. Till I come your way next time, I remain Precious Chukuli. Thank you for watching.